Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the New York Islanders franchise mode here on NHL 24. It's episode 8, and we're about to go through the 2027-28 regular season. Last season, we missed the playoffs. It was super disappointing. It was mostly the injuries, but, the whole team just underperformed. Unfortunate, but we made lots of changes in the offseason, and I'm really looking forward to the season. I think we can contend to win the Stanley Cup. I think this is really the start of our dynasty. Definitely the start of us consistently contending for the Stanley Cups. So let's go look at the lines. I just got back from vacation, so I'm actually kind of forgetting what we did last episode. I haven't been on in like 2 weeks, but yeah, last episode we traded for the rights of Frank Vatrano, a sniper for us. He's listed as a two-way forward, but he scores goals. He's got really good stats, and we locked him in to a 4-year, $7.75 million deal. Bit more than I was expecting to pay, but you got to pay for good players. Last year, he had 33 goals with the Sharks, which I believe is a career high. We're looking for him to maybe get around that point or even higher, playing on the top line with our dynamic duo, Horvat and Barzal. Barzal has been good in recent years. He led our team in points last year with 87. Horvat's been a bit disappointing, though. He only had 66 last year. Hopefully, he can play well with Vatrano on his left wing. They've got a +4 there. On the second line here, we got Macklin Celebrini. He was another one of our tough negotiations. We ended up signing him for 8 years at 8.45. Again, a little bit more than I was expecting to pay, but I guess that's pretty realistic here in 2027. He's a playmaker last year. He had 66 points. We're looking to take that next step, potentially into the 70s this year. Playing with Jean-Gabriel Pageau. We know who he is. He's a second-line center. He had that one crazy 75-point season, but we know we can rely on him for about 50 points. Playing with Kevin Fiala, who had a solid year last year, 62 points. I'd like to see him get back to the form we had after the trade deadline in the 2025-26 season, where he was around point per game. I'd love to get him more than 23 goals, too, because that's kind of his specialty, being a sniper, so that'd be lovely to get him up into the 30-plus goal mark. Third line here, we got 39-year-old Brad Marchand, 84 overall. He had 80 points last year. It was pretty crazy, but I think he is going to be potentially playing his final year in the NHL this year. We re-signed him for just a hair under $3 million, so we're just going to have him on the third line. I know he put up 80 points last year, but I don't think it's realistic to play a 39-year-old in the top six when you have players like Pageau, Fiala, who wouldn't really thrive on the third line. We picked up Charlie Coyle from the Bruins. He's just like a depth center, really. He was really just a cap move. He's pretty cheap, decent defensively, and we can maybe have 30 points or something. Oliver Wahlstrom, he's 27 now. He only had 34 points last year. It'd be nice to get him back into the 40s or so. But, we don't expect him to be a star. On the fourth line here, we got Kyle Palmieri. We re-signed him to a 1-year deal. Just a depth forward at this point. David Camp, similar thing. We signed him to a depth deal, defensive center. And then we got Bill Zonin finally joining the NHL. 20 years old. I've really liked how he's progressed. 24th overall pick in 2025. He's got a solid shot. He's a power forward. Pretty well-rounded. His defense isn't great, but hopefully he can learn from the likes of defensive forwards like Kampf and Palmieri. I'll keep him on the fourth line for now because I don't think I can really justify bringing like Wahlstrom or Marchand down. But next year he should be solidly locked in on that third line. On defense, we're keeping it similar to last year. Salayev and Dobson on the first pair. Dobson, he's one of our best players. He's our captain. Like to see him get back into the 70-point mark, maybe contend for the Norris. He's playing with Anton Salayev, who has the low franchise potential. Defensive defenseman, super solid defensively, and he's not terrible offensively. But yeah, hopefully that pair has a really good year. They weren't terrible last year, but hopefully see them hit that next level this year. Pelech and Pollock, two veterans, 33 and 32 years old, +5 on the second pair. You can rely on them to basically allow no goals against. They'll put up combined like 30 points, but that's okay. And then on the third pair here, here's where it's interesting. 21-year-old Dawson Connor is ready to join the NHL as an 80 overall, medium elite potential offensive defenseman. We picked him up at 185th overall. Pretty crazy. But yeah, he's really solid defensively, actually. 86 shot blocking and checking. His puck skills are unbelievable. His skating and physical aren't great, but, they never can be with generated players. So, yeah, I'm super excited for him. I think he's going to maybe even be a top pair defenseman for us one day. He had a really good season with Bridgeport last year. Yeah, super excited to see him in the NHL. Ethan Bear, he actually grew in 83, which I didn't even notice. But yeah, he is joining us from St. Louis. We traded Alexander Romanov to them just because he's pretty cheap at 1 year, 2.7. Just a solid all around defenseman. He probably won't put up a ton of points playing on the third pair, but he's quite reliable. In net, we have our starter in Ilya Sorokin. We know who he is. He didn't have a great year last year. He also had a few injuries, keeping him to just 52 games when he likely would have played like 60 plus. 900 save percentage. We'd like to get him back into Vezina form at 2025-26. Even though a tough season for the team, he did win the Vezina trophy. So we'd love for him to get back to that level, but we know he's our starter for sure. Backing up is the real question, because Dennis Hildeby, he grew to an 84 overall. He's 26 now, so we're not really seeing any more growth from him. He had a really good season last year, or the year before last year, I guess. Last season, he wasn't great. Sub 900 save percentage. But he did grow to an 84, so maybe that's a good sign. We also have another option in Rasmus Korhonen, who's 24, 2 years younger, and an 82 overall. Last year, he was not good at all. 858 in his 9 games, but I think he might be too good for the AHL now. So I'm going to keep him as like kind of a third goalie, rotate 3 goalies there and see what works and what doesn't. For the scratches, we have Korhonen, obviously. William Dufour is the 13th forward. Not going to see any more growth from him, so I'm okay with keeping him in the press box. We also have this guy, Ryan O'Rourke. He was a defenseman in the Minnesota Wild system. They didn't qualify him as an RFA. He was like 76 overall. I decided to sign him, and he grew to an 81. He's on a really cheap deal, two-way deal even, but I don't think we can justify keeping him because Minnesota definitely would have qualified him in real life. He also has like 76 offensive awareness, so I don't know. We're going to trade him back to the Wild for like a 7th-round pick, just retconning the situation. Yeah, that's how the team is looking going into 2027-28. First unit power play. I mentioned this last time. We're going to do something interesting with the power plays. You can see we have Barzal, Horvat, Celebrini, obviously, Noah Dobson. We're also going to have Dawson Connor on the first unit, try and stimulate his growth a little bit. And on the second power play, we also have 2 defensemen, Salayev and Polak. Even though they're not great offensively, they have a pretty good unit for a second unit. Vetrano, Peugeot, and Fiala would probably be on most other teams' first power play unit. So I think we can really rely on our power play to put up quite a bit of points, even if we have 2 defensemen playing on both of them. Penalty kill is pretty basic. Just go through them really quickly. I don't really bother with penalty kill too much. I just put some defensive forwards in there and hope something good happens because I still haven't really cracked the code. But yeah, that's how the team is looking going into this year. I'm really excited. I think, like I said, we can definitely contend for first in the division. I looked at the other teams around our division, and I would say the Rangers look pretty good. They've knocked us out of the playoffs 2 years ago. Other than that, the Hurricanes don't look too bad. The Blue Jackets look okay. But yeah, I think we are, on paper at least, the best team in this division by quite a bit. So we're going to see if we can live up to expectation. Trading Ryan O'Rourke back to the Wild. I looked at their team, and he'll probably honestly be playing second pair. It's a pretty bad team here in Minnesota. They say conservative buyer, but they're pretty bad. Taking back 7th-round pick and just Tanner Pearson for the contract spot. We can put him in the AHL. Might as well take advantage of the situation. Give ourselves a little reward in a 35-year-old AHL player, but, doing Minnesota Wild fans a favor. Be cheering in the streets for this deal. Yeah, sure. All right. But yeah, send him back there so you can finally get some ice time. Yeah, looking at their team here, he will be playing second pair with Carter Yakimchuk on a not great team, so yeah, good to see. For the AHL team, we're looking for growth from Per Havlid. He's 20 years old now, 77 overall, hopefully making the team next year. Dmitry Zykov is 21 now. He's got a pretty good stat line. I think he might be a future NHLer as a low elite. Mateko here, he's 76 overall. Barrett, he's 72. Okitanov, another low elite. Brindamore, medium top 6, the 7th-round pick. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the forward group. We have a ton of like low elite and low top 6 forwards who aren't signed to their entry level deals yet. So soon this team will be just stacked with prospects. For the defense, this guy is not actually a defenseman. You can replace him with Rudolph Benda. I just brought him up for the preseason, see what he can do. Yeah, we got Tulipov here. He's a low elite. He had a solid season last year. Not crazy, but hopefully he can have another good season. Maybe almost be NHL ready. Playing Karlati and Bochinski together here, two low elites. And then Roenick, he's a low top 4. He won't be playing in AHL. I've gone out and sent contract offers to a few depth AHL players to fill out this team. Yeah, in net, we have Malek starting, but Spike Martindale, he's a prospect we want to see some growth from. Medium elite, 61 overall at 19. He's kind of in over his head playing in the AHL, but, I want to stimulate his growth. We'll get some starts in for him. Yeah, that's how the team is looking. We also have, like I said, we have so many prospects in the system. The amount of low elites we have is quite incredible. Also have that guy Ilya Nazarov, the medium elite forward we picked up at the draft last year with our 13th overall pick. He might be able to play in the NHL next year. Yeah, he's still over in Russia. Rudolph Bendo will be a big question this year because he hasn't grown. He was 77 overall out of the draft, I want to say. He's 78 now, so I don't know. These second round NHL ready defensemen, you'll never see growth from him. It's ridiculous. His stats aren't even that good. So I don't know. Maybe we trade him. I don't know what to do with this guy, man. Did he play NHL minutes last year? He did, didn't he? Yeah, he played 68 games. He was not very good in those games. So I think we're gonna potentially have him start the year in the AHL, just as the top pair defenseman there, playing on both power plays, just to see if we can maybe stimulate some growth from him, because you'll just never get him to grow. But the thing is, we don't really have anyone to take out of the NHL lineup. I mean, Bear has decent trade value because he's on a cheap deal. Maybe we could trade him out and put Benda in if he really impresses us in the preseason. He would have to blow our socks off, man, because he doesn't have very good chemistry there anyways. I don't know. It's a tough situation because we don't really have room. I don't know. I'm going to play him in the AHL for a year, and past that, we'll see what happens. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the preseason and see who impresses us. Starting game 1 of the preseason with the lines I showed you. Sorokin's going to start in net. And this one ends 4-1 as we outshoot the Hurricanes, but Freddie Anderson stands tall. Natchez with a goal and assist. For points, only one goal. Wallstrom scored it from Marchand and Bear. Can't really take anything from that. -2 from a few guys here, a lot of guys. Yeah, we'll change something in the bottom 6 for sure. For this game, we're actually going to switch Fiala and Vetrano, go +4/+2 for +5/+1. Just try it out because Horvat had a -2. I don't really know what to do in the bottom 6, so we'll just change centers for now. And Salayev and Dobson were -2, so we'll just switch up pairings just like that for now. Sorokin was pretty good in net, but we'll start Helmby this game. And this one ends 6-2 Blue Jackets. Not a good start to our preseason. No Islanders in the 3 stars. Our goals came from Bear and Wallstrom, so they've randomly been good. Fiala, Marchand, Kempf, okay. No pluses, a few minuses. Dawson Connor and Vetrano especially. Interesting. Hildeby wasn't great, so we'll switch him out for a Korohonen next game. For this next game, I know Dawson Connor is probably going to make the lineup, but, he's a -2. Benda deserves a chance, so we'll have him in for the next game. And Korhonen starting. I remember last year Korhonen had a really good preseason and then didn't really work during the regular season, so we'll see what happens this year. 2 goals late from Flyers players makes this game 4-2. Unfortunate loss again, but, it's just preseason. Teams have bad preseason, have great seasons, so we'll see. Points from Celebrini, Salayev, Wallstrom. Marchand is having a lot of points, so I'm going to promote him into the top 6 for now. Wallstrom is also doing really well. A few minuses there. That wasn't a terrible game, honestly. Still love to get a few wins, but it wasn't heavy minuses or anything. For this game, we're making a lot of changes to the offense. We're going to put Marchand on the first line because he has 3 assists. Wallstrom's going to come to the second line, and we're going to have Peugeot as the third line center. He hasn't done anything bad, but, he's getting up there in age. Maybe it's time he takes on that lesser role. Also have Vetrano down here because he's been quite bad, unfortunately. But yeah, let's see how these lines turn out. And forgot to mention, I took out Zonin for Dufour. He was having a bit of a rough time, so give him a little break. Gonna have Sorokin start this next one because Korhonen and Hildeby have not been very good. A big third period comeback, and that makes our first win of the preseason. 2 goals from Celebrini. Sorokin had a good night. Wallstrom stays hot. I don't know. This is... I'm gonna cut that. I don't know. 3 points from Celebrini. Wallstrom also with 2, as we know. Fiala, Bear, Barzell, Horvat. Good to see that top line getting into the mix. And Sorokin, as we saw, was very good, so good to see. Keeping the same lines except starting Dennis Hildeby. We take this one 4-1 against the Devils. Great night from Dennis Hildeby. Fiala and Celebrini had a goal and assist each. We're finding our groove. 2 points from Barzell, Marchand, Fiala, Celebrini. 1 point guys here. Lots of pluses. And only a minus from the fourth line, so we'll change that fourth line up. But yeah, good performance. Let's make it a little change, bringing Palmieri up for Kemp. Benda also hasn't really done anything, so we'll bring Dawson Connor back in. And start Korhonen for this one. This one ends 5-3. The Rangers only put 16 shots on us, but took a last period goal. 2 goals from Frank Vetrano. Good to see him finally getting going. Goal from Peugeot. 2 points from Vetrano and a ton of 1 point guys here. Going all the way down. Good amount of pluses here, especially Pollock Salayev. Maybe that pairing's doing okay. Maybe we keep... I don't know. We'll have to see. Bunch of pluses here. Minus from the bottom pair, though, but we'll keep it for another game. Going into the final game of the preseason, so let's set the lines for how we think they will be on opening night. So for the final game of the preseason, we're going to go into the season with these lines, I think. They look a bit strange, but Marchand is still producing really well, even in his old age. Wallstrom is also having a really good preseason. And guys like Vetrano really aren't producing. So we're going to start with this. It'll probably change pretty early in the season back to, Horvat back in the top line, Vetrano back in the top 6, stuff like that. But I'm liking this for now. For the defense, I'm going to keep with Pellick Dobson for now. Salayev Pollock has not been a bad pairing, and I think Connor will start the year here, but we're going to try Benda for one more game because Connor really hasn't been blowing us away or anything. Going to start Sorokin because he's been the best goalie. Hildeby has been okay, and we'll scratch Zonin, Connor, and Korhonen. We'll probably send Zonin down just because I don't want him sitting in the healthy scratches. We can always call him up. He's not waiver eligible yet, so, For the final game of the preseason, first period, Vetrano. Second period, nothing. And Strome ends it. 3 stars. Sorokin had a good night, but Allmark was the better goalie. We're looking at how Benda did, really. Vetrano, maybe. He had a good game. No one really blew us away there. Dobson, Pollock, so I don't know. Benda was a -1, so we're going to start the season with Connor in that third pair role. Also had a -1 from the top line, so maybe we'll make a change there. But yeah, let's go into the regular season. For the power plays, I'm going to scratch that idea of having the 2 defensemen on each unit. We're going to have Barzell, Horvat, Celebrini, Vetrano, and Dobson, with Barzell the distributor, Horvat the finisher, and Dobson the puck carrier. For the second unit, for some reason I can't figure out how to get a positive. I think we're just lacking X factors because only Fiala and Peugeot have them, but we're going to have the distributor not as Wallstrom. It changed on me. We're going to have the distributor as Connor. Fiala, the finisher, and then Marchand, the puck carrier. I don't know. We'll probably be switching the second unit around a lot just because of that negative chemistry. But yeah, we'll see. To start the season, we're going to have Bena in the press box just because I looked in the AHL and he has terrible chemistry. So honestly, it'd be no better to have him down there than just having him here. We'll play him in a few games if any of the defensemen, especially Connor, are starting to struggle. Also, Corhonen here, and we sent down Zonin to get more time in the AHL. Brought up Bobby McMahon, decent defensive forward. But yeah, let's get right into the season. Here we are, the first game of the regular season, the home opener at UBS Arena against our rival, the Hurricanes, divisional rival. We'll be looking to contend this year. Like we said, this is hopefully this first year of our Stanley Cup contention. Let's get right into it. First period and 1-0. Bo Horvat opens up the scoring. He's a player we've had a lot of struggles with. We haven't really seen good production from him except for 1 year. So he's really a player we'll be relying on to really produce this year if we do want to make a serious push. Shots are 14-10 in our favor. Second period and tied up at 2. Nikishkin ties it up shorthanded. Wallstrom power play goal puts us back ahead, but Noel Gunler ties it up. Shots are 29-23 in our favor. That is all tied up heading into the third. Early Hurricanes power play. Svechnikov scores. Pull out right back, though. The defensive defenseman right back in it. Outshooting them by more than 10, but this is a very close game. Time winding down, and Brad Marchand, the veteran. What a monster he's been. 4-3. Can we hold on for the win? And yes, we can. 4-3 win for the first game of the season. We vastly outshoot the Hurricanes, but they make it close. Marchand with the game winner. Barzell had 2 assists, and Pulock has a rare goal. Yeah, great first night. Sorokin was pretty good. Everything's looking good. Love to start on a win. Get into some calendar simulation. These lines are pretty experimental, so I think we'll run with them for like maybe 6 games and then check. So that would be just after this Buffalo game here. Against the Red Wings, 3-2 win, making them close, but we are pulling off 2 wins to start the season. A 1-0 loss against St. Louis. 3-1 win against the Penguins. 6-5 overtime win against the Sharks, and a 2-1 win against the Sabres. So we're 5-1, but every single game has gone to 1 goal. Love to be a bit more dominant than that, but let's keep simulating. Maybe pass this Toronto one. I want to see the Rangers, of course, and the Red Wings knocked us out of the playoffs. So let's go see the Red Wings against the Lightning. A 5-4 loss. Minnesota 2-1 win, and now against the Red Wings. So we're 6-2, facing the 4-3-1 Red Wings. We still haven't won or lost a game by more than 1 goal, so let's see if we can blow out the Red Wings here. First period and 1-1. Lucius opens up the scoring. Wallstrom ties it up. Shots are 15-11 in our favor. Second period, no goals. 28-21 are the shots, all tied up at 1 heading into the third period. Early Red Wings power play 4-on-3, and Dylan Larkin capitalizes, kill off the rest of the power play, but we're down by 1 with 10 minutes left. Shots are around even at 30, about 5 minutes. Late hero and Gabriel Pajot, man. Clutch from the veteran, and we are going into overtime. Crazy that every game so far has still been 1 goal. And nothing happens in overtime. We lose in the shootout, but still happy to get a point. Man, we are cutting it close with a lot of these games. Let's keep simming with these lines, though. They seem to be doing okay. I'll go check the points really quick, actually. Vetrano's playing really well, so we're going to have him back into the top 6. Wallstrom hasn't been particularly good. I don't know how to get Marchand back into the top 6, though. There's no one we can really take out for him. Unless we wanted to take down Celebrini, have Marchand up here, and have Pajot as third line center. I don't mind that, actually. I think we're going to start with that because we got a playmaker with 2 snipers. We got a really good playmaker in Barzell, feeding a good sniper in Horvat. a few good complementary players here. I'm liking that top six. That's a strong top six, and that lets Peugeot transition into that third line role that he's more fitted to, anyways. His production is bound to slow down. He's 34. We're okay with that. He's got 2 more years left on his deal. We'll have him in that third line role. I'm okay with that. For goalies, Sorokin is looking really good. So is Hildeby, so I guess we'll run with those two for now. Pelican Dobson is doing really well. Slyev and Pollock, not bad. And Connor and Bear. He's a -1. I'm going to take out Connor for now. Put in Benda for a few games. Why not? They're both young players competing for spots. We'll give it a try. I don't think we're going to have Corhonen play yet, just because the other two goalies are doing well. So yeah, I think I'm okay with these lines. We're going to send a few more days with them and see what happens. Against the Maple Leafs here, and another overtime loss. Blue Jackets, overtime win. AHL injury, I'll deal with that. And a 3-2 win. This is kind of ridiculous. We're first in the division, but haven't won or lost a game by more than one goal. I guess we just keep on rolling. Simulate to this game against the Rangers here. Simulated pass. We win 3-2 against the Lightning and 6-3 against the Flyers. Finally winning by more than one goal. Man, this has been a weird season, but we're 10-2-2. 5-4 loss against the Devils. AHL. AHL injury against another one, jeez. Against the Kings. We're not going to be able to see that one. And AHL. Geez, our AHL team is 1-11-2. Yikes. Back to the NHL. And a 2-1 loss, 2-1 win, 5-2 win. Okay. So we're still winning our games, most of them. Against the Oilers. Oh my goodness. These AHL injuries are unbelievable. 3-1 loss against the Oilers. Jeez. That one's just a playable injury. Against Boston here. Take the 5-4 win. One last game against Toronto and a 6-3 loss. Okay, so we're second in the division here. The Rangers are not doing very well. They're almost last in the division. 9-9-1. Let's see if we can beat them. At Madison Square Garden. First period, 1-0. Brad Marchand opens up the scoring. Shots are 13-10 for the Rangers. Second period, 2-0. Bo Horvat makes it 2. Shots are 21-18, but we lead by 2. Zibanejad immediately and is back within 1. Rangers power play, very extended power play, but we kill it off. Good to see. And Celebrini gets that insurance goal. Good to see. We're both of us hovering around 30 shots. We still have that 2-goal lead. Hopefully be able to hold on. Late power play ensures it. Keetle actually gets back within 1. Oh, I cursed us, man. I said a late power play ensures it. And then in the final minute 10, of course, they scored 2 goals. Lovely. Yep. 40 shots against. And we lose in the shootout. That's a choke. I'm not going to lie. That's a big choke. Okay, let's go see how our lines are doing. Of course, Brad Marchand at 39 years old and playing second line, third line minutes is leading our team in points. Just to look at the lead stats, in terms of goals per game and power play percentage, we're near the bottom of the league, but we're doing good for goals against and such. So Marchand and Barzal, both point per game. Good to see. Dobson doing really well as well, and Horvat doing not bad. Vetrano, plus 13, too. This guy's a good defensive player. I'm really happy we picked him up. Celebrini, not bad. Rest of the top 6 here. Wallstrom, I'd like to see a little bit more. Plus 12 from Pellick. Nice. Bottom 6 production is just kind of non-existent, though. I think I might bring Salaya back to the top pair. He's not really going to grow if he's putting up 5 assist seasons. Benda has 1 assist and -5, so we'll get Connor back into the lineup. For goalies, Sorokin's looking good, and Hildeby's looking excellent, so no changes needed to be made there. Back to our regular schedule of lines. We have Slav, Dobson, Pellick, Pollock, Connor, Bear. That's the one we were planning on doing. I don't really know what to do for the offense because this top line is working. This second line is working pretty well. And there's not really any real changes we can really make in the bottom 6 to really make a significant change. I guess we can do that. That's like the only thing I can think of that I can really reasonably do, but I guess I could take out like Dufour. He has really good like chemistry though, good physical, which is something we're lacking in the lineup. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep things as they are for now. It seems to be working all right, so we'll let it keep going. One change I'm going to make on the power play, though, is bring Vatrano to the second unit. He only has 2 power play points playing on that stacked first unit, so I'll bring him here for now. Connor, it looks like Benda didn't have a single power play point, so I'm just bringing Connor back into the lineup, so we'll keep him there for a little bit, but if he starts to struggle a bit, we'll bring Pollock into that second unit. I have Fiala playing with the stacked unit. He's not doing anything crazy right now, especially not scoring very many goals, so we'll see if we can activate his goal scoring. Simulating, I think we'll go to this game against the Devils. They're a good team in our division, so we'll go with them. Against Toronto here. A 7-4 win. Good to see us scoring. Against Nashville. Trade offer, no thank you. 3-2 loss against the Predators. Flyers 4-3 win. Kings 2-1 loss. Okay. Simulating this game against the New Jersey Devils. They're first in the division, and it looks like we're falling to third. Blue Jackets just ahead of us. First period, Mercer opens up the scoring. Shots are 10-9 for us. Second period, 3-1. Nimanaho, Hamini, I can never pronounce his name. Brad makes it 3-0. Pollock on the power play back within 1. I did not put Pollock on the power play. That's weird, but anyways, shots are 24-16, but we are down by 2 heading into the third. Caught an early goal, helps a ton. Probably over. We'll let it simulate a little bit more. Fiala back within 1. Okay, nice to see Fiala scoring some goals. Kill off a Devils power play. We're still out shooting them by a lot. Need a goal right now. Coyle back within 1. Too little, too late. As we lose 4-3. Yeah, unfortunate. Keep simulating. I don't think there's any team I'd particularly love to see. I don't know. We don't have like our division is pretty close. We don't play our division a lot, it seems. I don't know if that's just me. I guess the Capitals there, but they're last in the division. 7-2 win against the Senators. Real good to see. Against the Predators. And we beat them after losing to them earlier this month. 4-2 win against the Stars. Against the Ducks. And a 6-3 win. Columbus, Gallagher on waivers. How old is he now? 35, 79 overall. Okay. Wasn't even playing that bad in Utah, actually. 7 points in 11 games. Not terrible defensively. 1 year, 2-way deal. I'd almost think about picking him up and then like having him on our 4th line. You know what? Screw it. We're going to claim Brendan Gallagher from Utah, put him on the 4th line, see what happens. Loss against Columbus. Let's go do that. 60 loss against the last place Capitals. Lovely. Take out Dufour for Brendan Gallagher here. We sent down McMahon to make space, but yeah, that's a interesting veteran they sent down. 7 points, less than 10 minutes, man. What a beauty. Yeah, good to have Gallagher on the team. Looking at the offense, the top 6 offense is really good. Like, there's no problem, no complaints. It's just the bottom 6 offense here, like 9 points. 17 from Wallstrom. Peugeot is good, like 12 points, 10 points. We're not really getting any offense there, so we'll have to pick up maybe like an 84 overall forward. On defense, nothing crazy is happening. I'll do a more in-depth look once we hit the halfway point. But yeah, keep rolling until that point. I'm happy with the team, honestly. We're not scoring at a crazy rate. We're not defending at a crazy rate. But we're just grinding out wins. A lot of these wins are by 1 goal. We've only had like 1 blowout win this year against Toronto. So, gonna go see Utah. We just got Brendan Gallagher from him. Might as well. That might be a while to sim actually, but We'll stop if anything goes crazy bad. 6-3 loss against Buffalo's unfortunate on 3-game losing streak here. Another loss. And we're on a 5-game losing streak. Ends with a game against Pittsburgh, but we better change something here. Maybe it's the goalies that are kind of screwing us up. Looks like Sorokin has come down a bit. He's at a 902 now. Hildeby's still at a 922, but we'll give Hildeby a few more starts maybe. I bet it is the power play and the penalty kill that are screwing us over because, I mean, the bottom 6 offense is just not good. That's the thing. Gallagher's at 2 assists in his time, so whatever. How's Dawson Connor doing? This guy, I was expecting a little bit more than him. I guess he is 21 years old. But I'd love to see more than 5 assists from such a guy with 5-star puck skills, 87 offensive awareness. You're telling me you can't get that any points? I don't know. Gonna have Pollock on the power play here. Connor wasn't doing anything. I'm actually considering putting Dobson on both power plays. I mean, that's not terribly unrealistic. I mean, Edmonton does that with Bouchard. Vancouver does that with Hughes. I don't know. I better not. We'll just make that small change for now. We're waiting until the halfway point, and then we'll make a trade or a decent move into the bottom 6. But yeah, let's keep simming till that point. I thought Utah was the half point, but it's actually that game against Montreal there. A 6-2 win against Boston to get back on the horse. Back-to-back against Colorado and Utah. 2 wins, good to see. AHL, I'll grab them in a minute. And against the Habs here. So in the division, looks like we're in a pretty good position. Devils and Rangers and the Hurricanes actually are, nipping at our ankles, but I think we are in a decent position against the Canadians here. First period, 3-2, lots of goals. Alfredson and Slavkovsky make it 2-0, but Connor and 2 goals from Wallstrom, probably Dawson Connor's first NHL goal from the point. So that's good to see. Shots are 14-11 going into the second period, tied up at 4. Marchand gives us a 2-goal lead, but 2 power play goals. Maybe our penalty kill's falling off a cliff. I don't know. We'll check at the halfway point. Power play early, but killed off. Tied up here. Another power play for the Habs. Extended, but we kill it off. We get one of our own, but that's shortened. Next goal probably wins. About 5 minutes left here. Time winding down. And Matthew Barzal. Game-winning goal. Minute 45 left. Lovely to see. Marchand goal and 2 assists. 2 goals from Wallstrom. Again, we're grinding out these close games. If even half of these 1-goal games had gone the other way, we'd be below 500. But instead, we're sitting second spot in the division. Good to see. I'm gonna sim a few more days just to kind of get the rest of the league caught up to 41 games. But yeah, I'll check the stats here in a minute. Simmed up to this game against the Capitals. So we'll look at the individual stats first. Everyone's played 41 games now, I think. Or pretty close. Marchand's leading the team in scoring. I don't know what to say. This guy consistently produces. He's playing 19 minutes a game still putting up good defensive metrics. He's a +7. 5 game-winning goals. He's clutch. He's been a really good Islander. I don't know what to say. My first line minute, I love it. Barzal has 37, on pace for 74 points. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. But for our first line center or winger, I'd like to see a little bit more than that. I'd like to see him reach point per game. I think he can. Good to see Fiala finally picking it up. 72 points is the pace for him and Vetrano, on pace for 26 and 28 goals. I'd love to see them both get a few more goals, but that's pretty good production from both of them. I'm especially happy to see that +19 from Vetrano because that's what we brought him in for. He's good plus-minus, but because he has that good defensive stats, he's a good, well-rounded stat player. 5-star shot, though. That needs to come into play a bit more often, but Celebrini on pace for 72. That would be a career high, so no complaints there. Dobson on pace for 68. I'd like to see a little bit more than that, but, he's our number 1 defenseman. He's got a lot of pressure on him. Horvat, for some reason, this guy can't eclipse 65 points, but I don't even know what to say anymore. Wallstrom, not having a bad season. 46 points from the third line would be nice. 44 from Peugeot would be pretty good. Palmieri 30. Yeah, you see it just falls off a cliff here. So we need a guy who can put up 50 points in a third line role. That's what I thought Marchand was, but now he's producing like crazy, so I don't know. But yeah, Palmieri, Coyle, Kampf, Palick plus 22, Pollock plus 14, Gallagher, okay. I don't know. Ethan Bear hasn't been as good as I thought, so maybe I'll take him out for Benda for a few games. Dufour, then Connor. Salayev, only 5 points at the halfway mark. He's not going to get much growth doing that. You know. And then Benda, whatever. For goalies, Coronin hasn't gotten any games yet. Sorokin's still at a 901, and he'll be at 924. He's been really good, but that's good to see. Let's look at the whole league stats now. I doubt we'll have anyone contending for anything. Vasilevsky leading the goalies. He's got pretty much the best save percentage out of starters as well, so he's on pace to win the Vezina. Leading the league in scoring is Kirill Kaprizov with 62. Hughes is up there. Applicator on Utah. He's an insane player. 27 goals. Lots of 27 goal scorers here. Pasternak, Pedersen, Bratt, Taylor Hall. What? 85 overall. Weird. Larkin, Eriksson Ek. He's signed well. Bertuzzi. Wow. Former Islander, although for a short time here, in Tyler Bertuzzi, putting up crazy numbers on Philadelphia, on pace for like 48 goals. Wow. Stutzel, Draisaitl, Johnny Hockey, Marchenko. Bedard not doing too crazy. Of course, no McDavid either, because, you know, point per game for like the 98 overall. Whatever. Anyways, how are defense looking? Does Dobson have a chance? It's not out of reach. He's only 6 back of Makar, who's on pace for a point per game season. Bouchard, Jones, Seth Jones in the mix. Jeez. But yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibility for Mr. Dobson to compete for that Norris Trophy. Did he win one? I don't think he's won one yet in this sim. Usually he wins quite a bit, but yeah, that's good to see. Let's go look at the team stats now. So we're sitting third in the Metro, tied with the Devils with 51 points. We got the same record, actually. Columbus is pulling away a little bit. They're having a really good season. Rangers are fairly close. Pittsburgh and Carolina are slowly falling out of range. But yeah, we definitely need to keep up a good pace in this second half. We're sitting at 6th in the league, so that just shows you how stacked this division is. Columbus having a really good season, first in the league for goals per game, 3.34. That's not crazy good, but sitting us around middle of the pack. Goals against per game, we're sitting in 8th there. A three goals per game is not bad. We have a 14% power play. That is absolute cheeks. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, that's so bad. Okay, power play is a big thing. We need to get like a power play specialist type of guy. Penalty kill running at 80 is also terrible. So special teams is not our specialty, ladies and gentlemen. Newsflash. But yeah, I'm gonna go look on the trade blocks around the league for someone who can, put up some power play points. Hopefully, like a third line, 84 overall winger, maybe. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But yeah, we'll see what the market is for those type of players right now. So the trade blocks around the league, they're looking really dry. I'm not gonna lie. There's only 2 teams I'm interested in. And, well, one of them is the Blue Jackets, but I don't think we can trade with them. So they're the best team of the league. For some reason, they're a seller. And they would never trade to a divisional rival like us. They got, like, players like Teravainen and, like, Lane, who are putting up a good power play points, which is kind of what we want. But, again, none of them are really on expiring deals. And, again, they're a divisional rival. So we can't really trade with them. One team I am interested in though is the Philadelphia Flyers. They're 19, 17, and 5, so just above 500. They are listed as a seller. I'd probably have to give them a player in return, but they have too many forwards. Look at my forwards they have here. Tippett and Sprong, who are 86 overall snipers, are not playing the power play at all. So I was thinking about maybe targeting one of them. Tippett here, he has a 4.5-star shot, 4.5-star senses, decent puck skills. He's not a black hole defensively, a really good skater. Says would fit in the second line. I'd probably be playing him on the third line, but like first power play, something like that. Overall, he hasn't been a very good sim player, but he's been totally underutilized here in Philadelphia. So I'd definitely be interested in him. Sprong, it looks like he's less of a scorer, or simulates as less of a scorer. Put up 30 goals last year, but kind of being underutilized this year. Decent in Seattle and Detroit before, a 5-star shot, 4-star puck skills, and senses. I don't know. Out of the both of them, Tippett's a little bit younger. We'd definitely be moving money out in this one. Tippett has 5 years left, though. Yeah, I'm going to try and make a deal done for Sprong. I think that would be a really good add to our power play, to our middle six. Stuff like that. I'm not sure who we're going to give up in return, but yeah, I'll update you when I think I have a deal. This is the deal I'm looking at now. I'd be giving up Benda, Bear, and Camp for Sprong and 2 roster spots, basically. Benda, he's probably the big piece coming back in this deal. He's a young prospect. He'd probably be playing in Philadelphia's at least top 6, maybe even top 4. He's not really progressed at all under our system, which we should have expected, honestly. He's going to like a team in a retool. He can maybe be a big part of that. Ethan Bear, I thought he was going to be a bit more of an offensive contributor. Doesn't really look like it, but he's 83 overall. He's on a decent contract if they want to flip him at the deadline or anything. He's only put up 8 points for us, but he'd be probably playing top 4 minutes in Philly. Also be giving up David Kampf. He's more just for the cap space. He makes like 1.5 when we could probably get someone for league min to fill the same role. He is a good defensive forward, but honestly, we can probably do better. These 2 prospects coming back, they're probably not going to turn anything. But yeah, Sprong's the big guy in this deal. Playing third line minutes probably. I'd put him on the first or second power play. He's a good skater. He's got a really great shot. I think he would fit really well into our system. I'd probably be letting him go after this year because we have absolutely no money, but we'll see. What do you say to this, Philadelphia? And they would say yes to this, so could I maybe sneak in like a 7th round pick? Maybe even like a try 4th? They would actually take that. Can I get like a 4th and a 7th? 4th and a 6th? Jeez, they are keen to take this deal. They must really, really like Benda. 4th and a 5th. Okay. I'll take that hard. That is awesome. So we will probably have to make another smaller trade to get a defenseman to replace Bear, because his replacement we also traded away in Benda. But yeah. Daniel Sprong, he doesn't really have a good fit anywhere. He would fit decently on the second line if we put him... not really, actually, eh? I guess we'll just keep him on the 4th line here. That's a good 3rd line there, actually. I'm not terribly happy with the chemistry there, but I think he will be able to put up a few goals. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'll put him in the power play here in a minute. But for the defense, Dawson Connor, he's going to be relied upon. He's got 6 points now. He's up to a +2, so I think he's ready for that full-time role. I brought up a Fairbrother here. He's just a depth defenseman. Don't worry about the -16. Our AHL team is absolutely terrible this year for some reason. He's not terrible. He's actually got decent defense, 87 shot block and check. Decent physical. I don't know. We'll look for another defenseman for sure. I was also thinking I'll put Zonanitz to the lineup. We never really gave him a proper shot in the preseason. We just put him on the 4th line. So I'm going to take out Gallagher for now. See what Zonin can do in an NHL look. A little cup of coffee, if you will. But yeah, I'm going to go scour the trade blocks for another defenseman. If we don't find it, that's not a big deal. We're pretty cap strapped. It doesn't have to be a perfect deal, but yeah, it would be lovely to get something better than a 80-78 bottom pair. This guy off St. Louis, Michael Buschinger, is not getting a chance for some reason. Hasn't even played an NHL game yet, but played 3 years in Springfield, playing well. He's an 80 overall, but for some reason they don't want to play him. It's not even bad defensively. I don't know. So I'm going to give up 2 low elites for him. These guys are both 20 and 54 and 58 overall, so I don't think they'll ever turn anything. They say no, so let me add in a pick. Jeez, they are not willing to take this even though they don't play their prospect. We'll add the 4th and the 5th we got from the Flyers. For some reason, that's still not enough. Let me add another piece. Here, have Brendan Gallagher too. Whatever. Gave up way too much for that guy, but you know, at least we have a bottom pair defenseman now that can maybe even grow. He's got 1 year left on his deal. I'll probably just lock him into an extension right now because hopefully he should be wanting like nothing. But yeah, we'll put him in the NHL. Relying on a pretty young third pair here, but you know, it's not bad. They both have really good puck skills, so hopefully they can put up at least a few points. First NHL games for Bouchinger, good to see. Still got Dufour and Fairbrother if we want. 2 trades made there. Let's go see the Sabres. They're one of the top teams in the league. Go check out how they're doing. Against the Capitals here, a big 7-3 loss. 3-2 shootout win against the Golden Knights. Against the Stars here. Take another loss because, of course, we do. AHL injury. And what the heck? You just see that? That was ridiculous. We lost against the Stars. 3-2 shootout win against the Canadiens. Kind of falling off here. It'd be lovely to get a win against a good team like the Sabres. Holding on to that 3rd spot. Pretty good, but definitely the wildcard spots aren't out of reach. First period, 2-1 Islanders. Zonin, probably his first NHL goal. That's good to see. Dermott ties it off. Celebrini gives us the lead. Shots are 18-11. Up by 1. Up by 2 now as Kyle Palmieri scores on Devin Levi. 31-21 are the shots heading into the 3rd. Can we hold on to this lead? And a few minutes in. Celebrini with his 2nd of the game. Tuck back within 1, but we're out shooting them by a vast margin. Power play, Rasmus Dahlin back within 1. Power play for ourselves, and Alex Tuck ties it up. We are choking, man. 37-31 of the shots. We just let in 3 power play goals like that. And we're going to overtime, and that was pretty ridiculous. No complaints, I guess. We won the game. I got to fix up this penalty kill, though. This is getting ridiculous. Every single game we go into, there's like 3 power play goals against at least. So I don't know. I wish you could see more penalty kill stats because you can't see anything. You just make changes and hope something good happens. I guess if you get like shorthanded goals, 4 shorthanded points is crazy. But yeah, you can't really see anything like that. More giveaways and takeaways. I don't really know how to tell, so I'm just gonna randomly make changes and hope something good happens. First place in the division is pretty far out of reach, but we are battling with the Devils for 2nd place in the division here. Simulate a few more days. All right, let's get right back into simming. We're actually 7-3-1 in the month of January, which is pretty good. I think we simulate to this game against the Devils. We haven't saw them yet. Our divisional rival, close to us in the standings. Bouchinger does sign that contract extension. Good cheap deal for a top 6 defenseman. Against Vancouver here, a losing team. We lose in the shootout. AHL injury, 1 sec. And a 4-3 loss against the Flames there. I kind of wish you could have like an AHL general manager that could like, I don't know, like prioritize prospect growth. Just like basically deal with the injuries and like, I don't know. I wish it was smart. 9-2 win against Winnipeg is really good. Let's get into this game against the 30-17-3 Devils. They're improving. First period here against the Devils 3-1. Oh, yikes. Former Islander Suter, Heischer. Connor gets us back within 1, but Hughes 3-1. Outshooting them 13-1, or 13-11, but down by 2. Second period, Kevin Fiala on the power play. Still leading shots 24-23, but down by 1 heading into the 3rd period. Not much happening here. 10 minutes left. Winding down. We're still getting shots, but do we have any clutch scorers late? And it doesn't look like it. 3-2 loss. Regulation losses suck. This year has been ridiculous for those 1-goal losses in regulation, but Our record isn't terrible. We should make the playoffs. I want this team to be a contender, though. I feel like on paper we're like a really good team, honestly. I don't know. Sim through the All-Star break here. Honestly, let's just sim to February and stop if anything goes terrible. In Seattle, a 3-1 win is nice through the All-Star break here. Back from the All-Star break, a 6-5 loss against the Hurricanes. 5-2 against the Blue Jackets. 3-2 win against the Panthers, at least. I should have stopped for this game against the Rangers, but that's okay. 3-0 loss, of course. We're 4-1 win, but we're getting real competition for our third divisional spot here. Shootout loss against the Sharks and regulation loss against Seattle. That's a rough month, I'm not going to lie. Only 2 regulation wins. Yeah, I think I'm going to make a change going into this. We got to look at the trade deadline, too. I don't think we're going to do too much since we usually make those in-season trades. But yeah, I'm going to edit around the lines here. Another thing I want in franchise mode is the ability to play goalies who are hot, because, like, it's going to play Sorokin because he's a 90 overall, but he has an 899 save percentage right now. When our backup, who has a 923, is getting played like a third as much. I don't know, kind of annoying, but I'm going to give Hildeby a few more starts, hopefully. Sorokin has been, like, probably our weakest link. It's just that we're losing those games. Like, the 6-5 losses are just brutal. It's not like we're getting blown out most games. We keep it close, but I don't know. We'll sim to the last game. I guess Winnipeg's technically the last game before the trade deadline. We'll go to this game against the Rangers here. Against the Capitals and a 6-3 win. Could see the scoring activated. I forgot to show the lines. I just realized I changed them quite a bit. I'll show you after this game here against the Rangers. 1-5-2 against another divisional rival, Flyers, which is nice to see. I forget if this is at home or at Madison Square Garden. I don't know. First period and 3-0 Rangers. Fantastic. 2 power play goals. Zadina, Wallstrom. I'm just sitting in the third period. 4-1 loss. We've been bad in the slow sim. Whenever I go into games, we've been decent in the calendar. Maybe I'll go into less games, but I like going against the Rangers and stuff like that. Yeah, so we'll simulate up to the trade deadline here. I just realized I accidentally simmed up to the trade deadline, and that puts you into the trade deadline minigame. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I didn't think I was going to make any moves, but I don't know. Maybe we could consider it. I'm not going to go in. That's, like, I'm happy with my lineup, and we have no cap space anyways. I kind of wish I stopped before that, though. That sucks. Big trade here is Strome goes to the Kings for Martin St. Louis, apparently, and a first-round pick. Tony DeAngelo to Edmonton for a first-round pick and a prospect. Josh Norris to Minnesota for first-round pick and I assume 2 prospects. Morgan Frost to the Rangers, fabulous. So I'll go show you the new lines really quick, and then we'll look at the around the league trades. So on the first line here, I promoted Sprong to the first line. He's producing decently, not terrible. Like 15 points is 21 games. That's pretty good. Yeah, Marchand's dropped to an 83 overall, so I don't know. We know he can play anywhere in the lineup. I've also put Celebrini up to the first line. He's on pace for a career best season. Plus 19, one of the best plus minuses in the lineup. 53 points compared to Horvat's like similar 42. Yikes. He hasn't gotten a point in like 12 games. That's good to see. Anyways, Barzell, our leading scorer as well. We don't get the +5 on the first line anymore, but I still like the +3. Fiala and Vetrano are simming pretty well. Fiala at 46 points, can't do math. Vetrano 50. Horvat is always going to be a problem. I don't know what to do with this man. On the third line, we have Marchand now. He's still putting up a lot of points, but, we just know he can play in the bottom 6 as well. Wallstrom's having a quietly good season. 38 points, half point per game, on pace for a way better year than he's had in recent years. And then fourth line, I'm probably going to take Zonin out. Actually, 7 goals is not bad. I don't know, for his first stint, that's not bad. He's a plus 3-2. I'll keep him in, actually. Fourth line, we just haven't been seeing great production from, but whatever. Salayev just jumped to an 86, actually, in the last, 10 games. He's not having a crazy good season, but still keep him with Dobson. Ushinger, oh, he got his first NHL goal. Good to see. Connor's a +1, not putting up crazy stats, but, soon he will on that first pair, eventually, probably. And the second pair has good plus minus, yeah, so. For league-wide trades, a weird one: Seattle and Chicago. Torrey Krug, Yarn Croc to Chicago, apparently. Neil Hemming to Ottawa for cheap. First round in Mason St. Louis. Okay, for Strome. D'Angelo trade, Norris. I assume 2 prospects to Winnipeg and Morgan Frost to the Rangers. I assume that's just a prospect swap. Mrazek going to Boston. Callum Ritchie going to Washington. Nick Waugh going to Minnesota for Adam Benek. He's a high top 6 prospect. I was actually considering going after him, but I thought we had too many forward prospects. Interesting that we go for so cheap, though. Nick Waugh is not a crazy player. Connor Clifton, a 5th, and 2 others for a first round pick. So Toronto paid a first round pick for Connor Clifton. Farabee to Vegas. That's pretty big for Limitov. Okay. Novak for Ryan Strome. St. Louis finally got out under that bad Novak deal. Not finally. It's been a Novak deal. They've been wanting to trade him ever since. Gweet and Emery for Cam York. Interesting. So, didn't know Cam York was on the block in Philadelphia. LA and Anaheim prospects. Pionk to Minnesota for, I assume, prospects. And then Ethan Bear goes to the Rangers. And Trent Frederick for a first round pick. Jeez. So the Flyers and the Rangers. Flyers acquired 2 first round picks from the Rangers. And the Rangers just got a whole lot better. That's not good. This is a tight Metro division. We're sitting in the wildcard spot right now. Penguins is 72 points, though. So they're not out of reach. Rangers and Hurricanes biting at our heels. Philly's probably out of it. Washington definitely is. Devils have gone on an absolute tear. They were close to us less than a month ago. So they must have gone on a crazy 10-game win streak. Yeah, we're going to need to stay above the Rangers if we want to really hold on to that playoff spot, because we're kind of on a downward trend. We're 4-5-1 in our last 10. We're not looking great. Let's go see. Do we see the Devils or the Blue Jackets? We went and saw the Devils recently. Let's go see the Blue Jackets against Winnipeg here. Oscar back? Probably not. No, thank you. Against Winnipeg, 5-2 win. Good to see. Chatfield going on waivers from Edmonton. 3 years at a lot of money, but he is decent. He's better in real life than he is in the game, but he's a solid defensive defenseman. We don't have the cap, but maybe he'd be someone like a bad contract to look up. Taking in a few years, maybe. Shootout win against the Avalanche. AHL injuries. Damon Hunt on waivers here. We won't take him. He's 79 overall. No, thank you. It's got us in a weird place in the calendar. It's going to show us the AHL. We're doing terrible in the AHL, by the way. I should have picked up a few more veterans, but anyways, a nice little win streak there. 5-3 and a 4-0 shutout against the Penguins. That's really good, a divisional rival. Sitting solidly in 3rd place now, 6 points ahead of the Penguins. Still not a lock, though. We still need to have a good month of March and then finish it off in April. Big game against divisional rival, the Rangers here. 3-1 loss. AHL injury. That would have been a really good game to win. That's unfortunate. Chicago and Utah back-to-back here. Chicago shutout 1-0. Nice. AHL injury. And a 5-4 shootout loss against Utah. I don't know, how is Utah doing in the sim? I haven't really been paying attention. Red Wings 5-3 loss. Man, a little losing streak here. Against the really good Devils though, when we shut them out 6-0. And then against the Habs, 6-0 again. Blue Jackets are 46-22-4. This is a really good team. Would be a nice divisional rival to beat. First period here. I always forget to check who's at home and who's away. Toronto opens up the scoring. Shots are tied at 10. Second period, and Johnny Hockey ties it up. Shots are 28-18 for the Blue Jackets, but still tied at 1. Not anymore, as Brad Marchand gives us a 1-goal lead. Power play, and immediately after, Macklin Celebrini strikes on that first line roll. Good to see. Columbus power play killed off. I forgot to check how our power play is doing. Might have to change it again. I think our penalty kill was doing bad, but I think our power play was okay. 3-1 win against the Columbus Blue Jackets. A huge performance from Ilya Sorokin, Marchand, and Vetrano, both factoring in goals. Let me check the power play now. Our power play is sitting at 20.6%, just outside the top 10. That's not terrible. 80.3 kind of sucks. Yeah, that's probably right in the middle of the pack. So I guess I'm going to change up the penalty kill again, because I don't know what to do with it. It's so silly. I don't know. Nothing I'm changing really seems to work, but I don't know. Let's get back into simulation. Rangers are pretty close. They're in the wild card spot here. I don't think the Hurricanes are out of it yet either. Or the Penguins, that's what I mean. The Hurricanes aren't out of it either, but yeah, definitely would be nice to pick up a few wins here in the month of April. Let's just see them a few games at a time, because these are important games. We want to be making changes if necessary. Florida 3-0 shutout. Awesome. 2-1 win against the Bruins though. Another 2-1 win against the Blues, and a 4-3 win against the Canucks. That's big. 91 points. Teams still aren't out of it. Let's go 2 more. It's the Wild, then Florida, and then a Metro swing to end the year. Minnesota 6-1 wins, huge. And a 5-1 win against the Florida Panthers. We are coming in clutch when it's needed. We've clinched a playoff spot. The Rangers are slightly ahead of us, so it'd be nice to win these last few games, though. Let's go Washington. End the season against the Hurricanes, who will not make the playoffs, I believe. Against the Caps, 4-2 loss. Yeah, I think the Rangers clinched a 7-3 win. So yeah, we're not really playing for anything this game. I think I already know who we're playing in the playoffs. Yeah, it's already locked in who we're playing against in the playoffs, but we'll go into this game anyways. 45 wins is nothing to scoff at. We ended the season well above 500 when, early in the season it wasn't looking like we could maybe do that. So yeah, final game of the season at PNC Arena in Carolina, I think. First period, 2-1 Hurricanes. Natchez Celebrini ties it up. Kotkaniemi takes the lead. Sharks are 13-10. Second period, 6-2. What a way to end the season. Bill Zonin on the power play. I don't think I put him on the power play. I could be wrong. It ends 6-2. Not exactly the way we love to end the season. 5 points from Aho. Let's go look at the stats and stuff, and then prepare for our playoff matchup that will come next episode. Start with the team stats. We ended 45-30-7, 97 points, 39 regulation wins. Pretty good season. 3.3 goals per game. We'll look at all these stats just by the entire league. This was a pretty good division. The Rangers ended the season hot. Blue Jackets and Devils both hit 50 wins. And they were 2-3 in the league, with the Maple Leafs finishing first. 4 teams at 50 wins, no one above that. That's interesting. So we finished tied for 9th in the league. That's pretty good. I'll take that. Our goals for per game at 3.33 was middle of the pack, probably closer to the bottom. We're actually tied with the Blackhawks here, a bit closer than the top than the bottom. Still would have been nice to get a few more than that. Goals against, 2.89, tied for second in the league. That's good to see. I believe it was a few days ago, but at the halfway of the season, I think we were pretty middle of the pack in goals against, so that's good to see. Our power play, or whatever. Didn't really go up or down. That's actually ninth in the league. That's pretty good. I think just league-wide scoring was just down overall. Penalty kill went down a bit to 79.9, probably closer to the bottom. Yeah, like ninth or 10th last. So we'll have to change that going into the playoffs. Same at home and away. We ended the season pretty good. Go look at the individual stats now. We weren't a terribly high-scoring team this year, but Matthew Barzal led the team in points, 76. That's less than last year and the year before, but it's better than his 2024-25 form. Pretty good season from our assistant captain. Macklin Celebrini finally coming into his own. We gave him the first line minutes. We gave him the first line center position. We said, "You're the man." Bo Horvat, he's struggling. You're the man, Macklin Celebrini, and he produced 74 points, smashing his career high, and plus 33 as well, which is very impressive on a team that was middling for a lot of the year. 18 power play points. Frank Frachano had a really good year on the second line. I'm happy we picked him up. 66 points, similar to his last year in San Jose. He didn't put up as much goals as I would have loved to see, but he was a plus 17, a solid two-way force. I'm happy with that season from Frank Frachano. Brad Marchand's production honestly fell off quite a bit once we put him on the third line, but that was to be expected. -2 on the season. We know he's a good bottom sixer. I'm not sure we'll be able to pay him like $5 million. It'd be nice to keep him around if we can, but he may retire too as well. Fiala, 63 points is not great. I would have loved to see a little bit more than that. It's better than his his first full season in New York. You can see I want to see him hit that 30 goal mark. I guess he doesn't really in real life either. He's only hit it once. For some reason, I thought he was like a consistent 30 goal guy. He doesn't really seem to be, but I don't know. In hindsight, that's a pretty good season from Kevin Fiala, especially because our top six struggle with scoring. He can score. He can make plays. You know what? I'm not even mad about that. Good season, Kevin Fiala. He ended in the positives. Bo Horvat, on the other hand, I give him so much ice time. I've given him so many chances, and he's given me one season worth of decent hockey. I don't know what is happening with this man. Like, why is he stuck at 60 points? His stats, he should sim well. I don't get it. I don't know. Dobson, only 60 points is a bit disappointing to see. It's 69 last year, 74 the year before. He's playing with a rotation of Pelech and Salayev, though. I guess you can blame that reduced production on different partners. Only 11 power play points is not great. +7, I guess. He ended in the positives, but yeah, still our number one defenseman. Oliver Wahlstrom, 48 points is a good bounce back season for him. He had 34 last year, back up to the 20 goal mark this one. Good third liner. Daniel Sprung, how was he for us? Wow, that production fell off. Playing on the first line, and he had 14 goals in 41 games. That's not very good at all. +15, but we'll be demoting him back down to like the second or third line. Peugeot, 42 points. I think that's what we can expect from him at this point. His production is slowly falling off. That's okay. He's an old guy. He's played over 1,000 NHL games. He deserves his rest. Palmieri, 29. Pollock, 23, +22. Coyle, 23 points. Pelech, 17 with a +29. I'm impressed with that second pair plus minus. That's really good. Salayev, 15 points, +2. Up to an 86 overall. Less points than last year, but, he was still good. We're not relying on him for the points. He played slightly less minutes, so I guess that makes sense. 120 hits. Yeah, he was solid. Zonin played half the season, scored 10 goals, so I'll probably demote him for the playoffs. Connor had 10 points and 69 points. I would have expected, or 10 points in 69 games. I would have expected more from a guy with like 92 passing. I guess his shot sucks. And only playing 14 minutes. Yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. Bushinger here, he was pretty good for us. He scored his first 4 NHL goals, 9 points, even plus minus. I can keep him in the lineup. 4 played 33 games. Yeah, okay. For goalies, Korhonen never played. That was the thing I wanted to do at the trade deadline. That was the only move I would have made, but not a big deal. We can trade him in the off season. Hildeby, his numbers came back down to earth a little bit. It ended with a 913. Sorokin a 909. That's honestly an average goalie in this universe. Like EA, you can't expect more than a 910 from an average goalie. Let's go look at the league-wide stats, starting with the goalies. Jeremy Swayman actually had a good season on the Kings. A 915 is like a Vezina winner in this universe. Kier Smid was also good with the Devils. 84 overall. Jack Greaves was good. Yeah, best save percentage was Vasilevsky was injured. He was on pace for probably a Vezina winning season. Yeah, he probably would have won the Vezina. Annafeld here. Oh wait, no, he's not in Tampa. Never mind. Yeah, I mean Sorokin's decently up there. Like he's in the top 10 goalies. Yeah, I'm not mad about that season from him. For the entire NHL, it was Kirill Kaprizov leading the league in points, tied with Jack Hughes. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. This guy crazy, man. Applicator, he's crazy. He was the third overall pick in the Celebrini draft. He had 106 points, 51 goals. Stutzel also up there at 106. What is he? 92 overall. Pedersen also reaches the century mark. Rantanen, Gaudreau, Chuck, Keller. Connor Bedard, I think his first season was like his best season. He had 108, but yeah, back down to 92 for him is funny. Eriksson Ek is a 90 overall. He's simulating well in this universe. Panarin 92, Taylor Hall 90 points, Brat with 90, Besser, Pasternak. Natchez is up there. Ridley Gregg puts up a crazy 86-point season, more than Connor and McDavid. Yeah, not a surprise. Pretty average year scoring wise. Austin Matthews, I've never seen him sim this bad. He's not simming well. Usually he sims better than McDavid. He's had a few. He had 54 and 50 goals, but still, I've never seen him be this bad. Jack Quinn, he's simulating well. Lawson Krause, Marchenko, Matthew Kachuk's not simming great either. Overall, a pretty average season scoring wise for defenseman Adam Fox. Again, you can rely on it every year. Look at this guy's stats. Like this was a down year for him. And every year in the sim, he's put up 83, 92, 99, 101, and 82 point per game or better every single season. I think he might win every Norris. I think someone won the Norris in that time, but I don't know. Makar 78, Quinn Hughes, Mintyukov put up 65, Heiskanen 62, Riley and Dobson. So even there, like Dobson put up 60. That's still like top 7 in the league. So I don't know. I'm happy with that from Mr. Noah Dobson. Decent season. Nothing crazy scoring wise for defensemen anywhere, anyways. And finally, rookie skaters Kubalik in his first full season in the NHL put up 25 and 25. Tanner Howe was also up there. He's just making the NHL now. Michael Misa at 21. Fedorov. Trevor Connolly finally making the NHL. Periscak. Brindley at 23 making his debut. Yakimchuk. Yeah, not a crazy year. Again, a lot of these like 2024 guys are just making their debut now, taking up all the scoring. Looks like the first row overall pick from this draft, and players like that didn't actually make the NHL, which is interesting to see. Was Reshny that guy? No. Well, Pasternak finally makes his debut, but yeah, like no one. This was a pretty weak defensive class, or a rookie class. This was a pretty weak rookie class. It would have been nice to have Mr. Nazarov make his NHL debut. He'll probably play next year. We're gonna have to move out probably 2 forwards because we have Nazarov coming in. We have I forget his name, but the low elite I showed you is playing in the U.S. National Development Program. Yeah, there is the 2027-28 season. Yeah, see, the Rangers won their last 12 in a row, so even if we played good, there's no chance to hit that third point. Yeah, there's no chance to get into that third divisional spot. Rangers, I just saw here, put on a 12-game win streak. Pretty crazy. But yeah, let's see who we are facing in the playoffs. I already know, but let's check it out. Against the New Jersey Devils, Jack Hughes, Jesper Bratt, Schmidt put up a good season. This is going to be a hard team to beat. 50-27-5. Let's go look at their lines. This lineup actually looks less good than I thought. I'm going to check for injuries first, and yeah, Jesper Bratt, one of their best producers, is injured. He would be playing on that top line probably. They got Nico Hischier, Jack Hughes, and Timo Meier on their first line for now. 3 good forwards. If it past that, it kind of falls off with, I'm not going to lie, Alexander Holtz, Rutger McGroarty, and Dawson Mercer on the second line for now. Marchment, Suter, and Engvall, former Islander Suter, and Cotter, Taves, and Haminaho. I can never pronounce his name. Surprised to see Taves is still in the NHL, 39 years old. Interesting. On defense, they got Siegenthaler playing with Dougie Hamilton, Luke Hughes, and Simon Nemec, the two 24-year-old medium elites, and Labushkin and Marino making up the bottom pair. So that's actually a really solid defense. I think that's definitely their strength. Their goalie is Akira Schmidt, who had a good season, backed up by Chris Drieger, and the scratch, Jared Anderson-Dolan. So I'm going to go check how long Jesper Bratt is out for. But in theory, this shouldn't be too bad of a matchup, considering this is one of the best teams in the league. I think they finished third. This team looks less good than I thought they would. Again, like, even though we look way better on paper, like, a guy like Bo Horvat simulates, like, a third liner, so I don't know. So for the Devils, MCL sprain returning May 7th, so he will be out for this round. That's really good news for us. I think this is definitely a matchup we can win, honestly. Like, what does this team have? Like, 50 wins. They had, like, 105 points. Yeah, I'm super excited for this postseason. I think this is a real chance to win. Like, the Eastern Conference doesn't look overly strong. Buffalo's going to be the team to watch out for. Columbus. But yeah, outside of that, I think we're looking really good going into this season. Before we end the episode, we'll look at like contract extensions, stuff like that. We'll also be doing the off season in the next episode. So we have a lot of players locked up to long-term deals. I like signing them to extensions before. But yeah, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then Sprong probably won't be coming back. So that does leave room for a top 6 winger, but I'm thinking that spot will probably go to Nazarov. And then Peugeot, Blank, Wallstrom. So a left winger, that will probably go to Beckett. Beckett, I remembered his name. That's the left winger low elite that we're looking at. So I think we'll probably let go of Marchand. Has it offer come down? No, he's still asking for about $4 million. And then fourth line, Coyle, Palmieri, and Dufour, Zahn, and a ton of players to compete for that spot. We don't really have any problems there. Coyle and Palmieri will get signed, stuff like that. On defense, don't think we need to do anything. Dobson, Slayev, Polak, Pelech, and Bushinger, Conger. That's how we're rolling. Eventually, we'll have to trade out Polak and Pelech because, you know, Bushinger, Connor will be wanting second pair minutes. Maybe even like Pelech this year. I'm definitely thinking about it because, you know, he's 33 now. He has a ton of trade value I've seen. He's going to have 1 year left on his deal after this one, so we could deal him if Connor would really have to prove himself, though. That's a tough decision to make. For goalies, we know Sorokin's going to be the starter again. Probably Hill to be as the backup. How much money does he want, actually? $3 million. That's tough. He is an RFA, so we'll qualify him and sign him later in the season. I'll be trading Korhonen at the draft, probably. Got 1 more year on like a league minimum deal after this one. Yeah, that's how the team is looking. We're definitely focusing on the now, though. Would love to make a Stanley Cup final run this year. Looking at the prospects, nothing crazy here. No medium franchise. A few medium elites, as always. Looks like it falls off. Like number 6 here is medium elite, but like number 7 is 3 years away defenseman. Looking at players to target, for some reason this is an absolutely stacked draft. Like, there's so many medium elites. I'll show you them all. This guy Filatov, medium top 6D, 3 years away in like the third round, so we'll pick him up. This guy here, a low elite. Why can't I click on him? He's 20 years old, but he is a gem. I'll probably pick him up because he'll be like last pick of the draft kind of guy. I could also just pick him up in free agency, honestly. Sean Bartley here is a medium elite right winger, playmaker, 5 years away. Good to add to the system. Why is that doing it to me? Reed Yoshi here, he's 19 years old, probably going in the early second. He's 3 years away, medium top 4D, kind of like Filatov there. Petrov, 19, 5 years away, but a medium top 6. This guy here, Lundstrom, 19 years old, but a medium elite, 5 years away, but medium, like, he's going to grow. Mayorov, a late round goalie here. Hababulin, I guess it would be. Yeah, he's 5 years away, medium elite. Sniper, which is pretty rare. This guy here, a low elite, 288. 5 years away, power forward, 17 years old, so good to add to the system. This guy I'm really looking at, though, Chase Scuderi. He's a low elite enforcer, which doesn't really sound interesting, but he's only 2 years away. At 17 years old, that is incredible value for a late round pick. Will he ever be more than like a fourth liner? No, but that's a really cool pick to make. D skating, but A physical, A plus physical. This guy here, Corey Burke, is going in the second round, 5 years away, medium elite. This guy here, I thought I would maybe take a look at. This guy here, I thought I would maybe take a look at. Aiden Moss, 18 years old, 3 years away. He's a gem, so he might grow. But yeah, there's a decent amount of medium elites there. I think there was 3 medium elites forwards to pick up, and then like a few of those really like low elites. I don't know. I think it's gonna be a really good draft. Also, keep in mind we will be having to sign these few guys here. Beckett, he's probably going to get that third line spot. 79 overall, crazy puck skills. This Andrews here, he probably wants a spot in the NHL. Not really proving himself with his QMJHL performance. Pretty good year this year, actually. But does he get a spot in the NHL? Does he maybe stay in the NHL for a few years? Outside of that, like, any suggestions for contract extensions? I don't think there will be any because, like, I don't know. Feel like everything's pretty set in stone. But there will definitely maybe be a few decisions to make around the off season. I don't think we're gonna make a ton of changes. We've been doing a lot of like changing and stuff. I feel like we should just, focus, make sure we just lock it in and just let these players grow and gain chemistry with each other. There's lots of free agents here. Obviously, a lot of these will be signed by their teams, but like Josh Morrissey, Thomas Chabot, maybe look at one of those guys. Lots of forwards here. Don't think we'll be signing anyone, but we do have a few holes in the lineup. We'll see. Outside of that, just looking at the progress reports, there's nothing crazy in the NHL. In the system, though, this guy Halvardson got a ton of growth. Cam Beckett, obviously, 79 overall. Bochenski in the AHL, he had a good season. Yeah, lots of low elites and stuff here. The amount of low elites in our system is insane. We've picked up a lot in recent years, but I just can't help it, Nazarov, he grew to a 78 overall. He had 25 points in Russia. That's a good season, plus 21. So shows that he's pretty defensively responsible. He's got good puck skills. We already knew that. 83 offensive awareness, could be better, but he'll still produce. Not great shot, but decent, not great defensive player. Good skater, decent physical. He's well-rounded. He's very skilled, but he's also well-rounded. It's good to see. Yeah, other than that, not too much to see here. Per Havlet is another player to look out for. At 21, he's probably looking for a spot in the NHL. 77 overall, medium top 6 potential. He's about to take that next step in his development, hopefully, so he'll be maybe wanting a role on the third line. Also, Zonin might see some growth. He's a 79 overall, but he'll probably be wanting to play a bigger role in the NHL. yeah, lots of decisions to be made. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to keep up with this series. We're going to go probably right up until NHL 25 releases, which I forget when that is. It's usually around October. Be busy with school soon, obviously, stuff like that, but I will try my best to stay consistent. Sorry for the long break between videos here. I took a little break after getting back from vacation. I wasn't really feeling like recording, to be perfectly honest with you. This is me from editing. I just want to apologize for like the weirdness of this video. For some reason, I couldn't sit down for more than like an hour at a time and record. It was weird, but we're back on the horse. We got like 2 weeks until school. Gonna try and get as many videos out as I can, really. But yeah, thanks for bearing with me. But yeah, we are back into it now. I'll hopefully have one out in the next few days after this one as well. Yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you in the 2028 playoffs.